Dave Weiss, welcome back to the Medicine Girl podcast.
Been a while.
It has been a while.
More importantly, how's the kite surfing been and how's the wind winging been?
Okay, so the wind winging, not so great.
That's good. I did try a few times in Mexico, and the first time I did it, I got up and I started going, and then every try after that, I couldn't even stand on the board.
Yeah, I I've been up on my knees, like straddling it, looking ridiculous.
Yeah,
And then one knee, halfway up, back leg down, almost standing up.
it wasn't, it was a little windier. It might have been a little easier, but whew,
I think that's the trick. Like
yeah,
lots of wind, and then you just get on that board. And then when the foil starts going up, because I haven't foiled before, I've just done the twin tip.
me neither.
So I think it's a mental block.
All right. And any kite surfing?
So the kite surfing season is on. I have a injured knee
Oh boy.
that it's been now a week and a half on these crutches.
Oh wow, really injured.
Really injured. Yeah. So, and the wind has been incredible. So I'm just looking, I
Wow.
can see the water from my window. Just seeing them all out there is killing me.
Torture. All
It's
right.
torture. Yeah.
All
But
right.
we'll get it. It's only a matter of time before the knee heals.
All right, very good. Where do you want to start? How's it
But
going?
I want to start, I just want to dig right into it and go into what I've been thinking a lot about is why the lie, why they hide us from the creator and how they do that. And the initial idea I have is MK Ultra programming. I've had Juliet Ingle on here and looking at Kathy O'Brien's story. They split your psyche and they split MK Ultra people into multiple personalities. But on a global scale, you can't really do that degree of torture to all the people on the planet. So I think they make up really big lies so that we know what we see, we know what we feel, but yet we're told the opposite. And that kind of creates a split.
They,
But,
yeah, go ahead.
well, and when it creates the split, then we are open to believing even more ridiculous things like dinosaurs had bones and fell into a big pit and that's how we're getting gasoline or um it, we landed on the moon with a tin can and aluminum foil and lawn chairs,
Yeah.
but then also so that you can be tricked into eating toxic poisonous foods.
I say this is the foundation of all the lies. People get mad. Why are you talking about flat earth? There's child trafficking or food shortages, starvation, war. It's because you're spinning out of control, flying through heliocentric, you know, satanic space vacuum, lost, eluded from the creator. And believing in systemic racism and shortage and lack and powerlessness and all of this stuff sets it up so they can do all that. Think of a kid. Kids are little geniuses, right? They have no preconceived notions. They're out there, they're absorbing the world, they're learning stuff faster than adults can learn, right? They're learning everything, and everything tells them they're on a stationary level, non rotating plane, that the pond that they're fishing in is flat and not moving. We go, oh, no, no, you're spinning, you're whirling, you're twirling, you're doing all of this stuff. And so that comes, they go to school, they learn that even before school that breaks their trust in their senses right there. That is trauma based mind control right there. And that's their entire life after that. Then, try taking a ball away from a kid, right? You think
Yeah.
that's tough? Try taking it away from a big kid. Okay. It's worse because you built your entire life around that. And, try to take a ball away from the globe away from a child, an adult child, a little child. The triggering is amazing. Try taking away their biggest fear of all, right? Which is the nuclear bombs, right?
Mm,
That's another one people just cling on to, right? Your audience knows nukes aren't real, right?
yes.
If
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
unsure, go to my
No.
website, scroll down to the bottom and go to the nuke hoax section and just listen to those podcasts by Crow 777 Radio and then make up your own mind.
Well, and that's how they can trick us though, Dave, because you look at Chernobyl and all the plants and deer going through it. If it was really a nuclear fallout zone, how could that happen? But yet we're told to believe that if you went into that fallout, you would die instantly or die of radiation poisoning.
Yeah. It's that, Chernobyl and Fukushima, there's still people living there, thriving there, growing gardens there. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Am I saying that right?
That
Yeah.
sounds right to
It
me.
sounds it sounded like sushi for a second. All right. And they 3 days later, they're selling sandwiches and flowers on the street, and people are taking the train and back to work. Does that sound like a nuclear bomb? I thought it was 11,000 years was the half-life of plutonium or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, so
as they tell us.
and it's all about keeping us in fear, keeping us believing in lack, keeping us from our God-given common senses, living on their fake ball system. Right? When you live on their ball field, you got to play by their ball rules. And
Well, and also I think too, like when you look at the model of an atom that these cartoon characters that they give us,
yeah,
it looks like a miniature replica of what they tell us outer space looks like. So that's more confirmation of, yeah, so of course we can split atoms and there's protons and neutrons circling around each other with these maybe, maybe not. But
right,
how are we going to split this atom and then create an explosion?
right. I totally, yeah. It's people use the atom that no one's ever seen as well. That's just like the solar system. Therefore, you're wrong. It's amazing. And the globalists have the advantage because they can just say to the flat earthers, "You're stupid. You don't understand." And then their followers will go, "Oh yeah, they're stupid. They don't understand." And the truth is, it's Dunning and Kruger at its finest, right there. They're the ones that don't understand. Did you happen to watch the phony fake Professor Dave debate with Austin Whitsitt yesterday or the
Yeah.
day before?
Yeah, the day before.
It is this he destroyed Dave, destroyed,
Yeah.
and Dave is claiming victory. And then we shame Dave into putting it on his channel. I'm like, oh, you won. Why isn't it on your channel? So he put it on his channel. Holy moly, the number of emails I'm getting. I had nothing to do with the debate other than I, had a screwed up debate with him years ago. The messages I'm getting like from global people that are just like, I thought flat Earth was stupid. Why, and it's amazing. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen that, check out Austin. Don't go to the full debate. Go to Austin. Just did a breakdown of it where he was actually allowed himself to talk and not be interrupted. It was
Yeah.
really good. Did you watch that last night by any chance?
No, I have
Yeah.
to, I'll put the links below
Yeah.
so you can click below. So I'll have those links, but I haven't seen that. That would be good.
It's really good. If you open up your app, there's a pop up right now for the next
Okay.
day or two. It'll be right
Okay.
there. Fantastic. All right. Sorry. Good. I'm rambling.
No, that's really good. So that's how they can punch into the other lies is that you initially, like you said, you tell these small geniuses that they're wrong. I mean, at first I believe we have to inject them with all sorts of poisons and get them diagnosed and give them methamphetamines if they can't sit still in school. And you've got to drug them significantly to be able to separate them from that deep wisdom and deep intuition. And so now you can punch in all of these other lies to get us to create a war within ourselves. We know what we see, but we're like, who are we going to trust? The people that profit off our ignorance or our lying eyes.
Correct. I mean, people defend it. The Stockholm syndrome. I can't speak today. Is so strong among the people that are sleeping unaware. It's Dunning. They everything they accuse us of. You know how like when I guess when a couple's in a fight or anything, the one that's doing all the accusing is the one that's doing all of those things. What's that called? That's called mirroring, reflecting, or
Yeah,
projecting, whatever.
projecting. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
projecting.
So Dunning-Kruger, projecting, and Stockholm syndrome. That is the description of a normie. A normie is a person that is ignorant, and ignorant's not a bad word. I'm ignorant
Right.
to anything I don't know. I'm ignorant,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Right? They have no idea what they're ignorant to. It's amazing, and they will fight to defend it. You know, it's that's the Stockholm syndrome right there. Amazing.
Yeah, they'll defend it and they'll parrot. So that's what the television is for, to have you become a channel. You're channeling that information to all of your peers. Like, I mean, same with MK Ultra. They get the clever ones that they see of the kids that they're mind controlling, and they call them the goats. And the goats are the ones that lead the sheep,
Yeah.
but they're all mind controlled. So our goats are, I think, the PhDs and the MDs and the scientists
Yeah. It
that, well, it's like they just have to say something in a confusing way with a arrogant tone of voice, and that's good as gold for most of the people.
I've been having on Tuesday nights, which is the night of this recording, we've been doing some Zoom calls on um, very simple, lawful ways to avoid. I'm going to speak in code a little bit from um, donating to terrorism out of your paycheck every week,
Oh,
right?
interesting.
And it is the sim. And I say that it's just it's so simple. It's like flat Earth. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you wonder how you ever missed it, and it's amazing. If you want to join tonight, you should. It's really good. I will anybody that if we anyone sees this before this is up, and we do them on not every Tuesday, email me info at theflatearthpodcast.com, and I will send you the information. And it is fascinating. But I tell people, don't like it. It's like if you want to run it by your accountant, it's like running flat Earth by an astrophysicist. They can't see it because
Right,
it's right there in front of their face, but their entire life is destroyed if they see it, so they won't look. And
right.
it's that simple. But once you see it, you can't unsee it.
But I think that's why all of this is so dangerous too, because their foundation, everything is built on a really, really, really flimsy house of cards. And so we're flicking at some of those, foundation layers of the house of cards that they've built all their lives on. So it's not just like once you realize you've been right all along, understanding the true nature of where we live, but then it's all of it. It's the prescription drugs. It's the medical industrial complex. It's the vitamins and the supplements. That's what I've been researching lately is guess who discovered the first vitamin? Merck Pharmaceutical Company, thiamine in 1936. And it was off to the races with all the pharmaceutical companies to isolate a certain chemical out of food, create a synthetic copy until you needed the vitamin to avoid horrible diseases like beriberi and rickets and scurvy.
Amazing.
Yeah, just keeps going.
The vitamins are in nature. Nature is vitamins, right? The
Yeah,
sun.
you can't isolate
Wait, how about
the
this?
active ingredient to nectarine.
The sun gives you cancer, and sunscreen protects you from cancer.
Right.
Go read the ingredients on sunscreen and then look them up on the
Yeah,
list of cancer causing chemicals. And
right.
don't worry, you won't have to read far because they're all at the top of the list. All
And
right.
what you're doing when you put those wonderful slathering that chemicals on your skin, it's radiating
Yeah. You're
with the UV light,
you're cooking that crap right into yourself. It's
cooking it.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But
The
you
more
couldn't, we wouldn't be able to do that if we weren't first separated at
from, from common sense.
from
If
that
we,
common
yeah,
sense.
right. If you didn't believe, the globalists believe in the word science. Flat earthers believe in actual science, demonstrated, repeatable, testable, measurable, not pseudoscience, nonsense, made up stuff. The radius of the earth has been falsified. Therefore, everything else about the heliocentric system is off limits, right?
Right.
Like if you were making a million financial decisions for all these different businesses and everything, and you start with $1 million, right? everything you've done is based on that $1 million. But what if that $1 million didn't exist and it was only $1? Everything you've done is pointless. Everything.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I believe, too, why we're clinging so tightly to the matrix. It's because it's hard to admit your whole life has been a lie, or
Absolutely.
everything that you've been doing is meaningless, abstract busyness for the matrix.
But here's the thing. I used to be in the Matrix. You used to be in the, I think you
I
used to be in
did.
the Matrix, so maybe you were born out of it. Um, and we've removed ourselves from it. And that's the hardest part, just like, okay, fall on the sword. All right, I've been an idiot my whole life. And life has life ever been better for you?
Never been better.
Never been better.
Like,
Never,
never been more
yeah,
understanding
yeah,
that I'm free,
yeah,
not because somebody's granting me freedom. It's because I know
yeah.
that's my birthright. I will always be free.
People say, I'm only one person. There's nothing I can do. That's the psyop right there.
There you
That's
go.
bigger than the globe lie right there.
Yeah.
There's that you have all the power, right? It's absolutely mind blowing when you see this stuff. People are like, well, death and taxes. Well, that's a lie also.
Exactly.
That's another lie.
Exactly. All of it, when you look really, really start to uncover it, it's all lies. I mean, the broken clock is right twice a day, so there might be some accidental truths in there and
Yeah.
some, counter
Yeah.
intelligence. And then a lot of people that are waking up to this level, they always say, well, how do you know the truth then? How do you know, what you're looking at on the screen? It's like we know inside that's why they sever or dilute that connection to source, to God, because that's our truth, that's our understanding, and everything that goes through that, then we know for sure that's a lie, that's a lie, this is my truth. How does it resonate with the soul? And that's the same thing like with gravity, what they put on. We don't need the word gravity and all of the religion that they have on it because we can't test it. It's not repeatable. You can't demonstrate it, but we can demonstrate density and every everything that goes with that. So why do we have to have the extra addition of gravity?
I'm with you 100%. It's crazy. Gravity is one of the dumbest things ever. Well, just jump out of a building, walk out of, jump off the Empire State Building, you flurf. Right. By the way, flurf means Flat Level Earth Research Foundation. Okay.
Oh,
Flat Level Earth. Right. They tried
blur.
to make it a bad word. It's Flat Level Earth Research Foundation. I made that up.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Um, it's such a freeing thing. I remember growing up, even most of my life, I'd be bored. Like I'm leaving in an hour. What am I going to do for an hour? I'll watch Gilligan's Island. That's what I'll do. I'll watch an episode of
Right.
something stupid. Right now, it's like, do you ever have an hour that you don't know what to do with?
I've never
Yeah,
had any amount
right.
of time.
And now, I listen to everything at double speed so I can listen to twice as much stuff.
That's it.
I still run out
Yeah.
of, still run out of stuff. Um, but I don't know. The world is amazing. We have all the power, and so many people, they love it when truthers. There's a lot of truthers out there that push constant fear. And there's a lot of people. People like Mike Adams. Mike Adams, the health ranger. He's got a lot of good information. He does a lot of good for the world. He's got a lot of bullshit. He's lost in the nuclear war hoax. He's lost
Yes.
in the. I don't think he knows about terrain theory or anything. Um, yeah,
No.
and
And what they're doing is like they're 80% correct. So they pull you in with that
yeah,
80%, like, oh yeah, he's speaking some truth. And then boom, they'll bomb you with the 20% lies. Like, okay, yeah, there's going to be a nuclear holocaust and everyone's going to die. But just in case you don't, here, buy my products.
yeah. That too. And he is out there making business. But so maybe that's very high up on his list of things to promote. I've been trying to get to him about the nuke hoax. He cannot see flat Earth, so it's amazing. He still thinks we went to the moon. I think so. I don't know what to say to someone like him. I didn't mean to. I don't mean to harp on him because I think that he actually is independent and not controlled. I think he's just lost, in his own delusions on some things.
Well, and in that, a lot of times what happens is when you're lost in your own delusions that you profit from. Like a lot of these naturopaths and homeopaths and functional medicine, they're profiting from their private label supplements, which are toxic poisons, and they can't see past that
Right.
because it's their bread and butter. And that's the fear. What if I actually say the truth? I'm going to lose this revenue. How am I going to earn a living?
Right. That's
And
what they accuse me of. You're out here. You're just grifting your app. My app is waking tons of people up.
yeah,
It's doing a great job, and I wish I could give it away for free, but the app costs a ton of money, so
yeah. No,
that's why
I
it's
I
three
take
bucks.
your app and I told you I give my son's friends, I'll say, I will pay you $100 if you can show me, go through each of the question mark videos
Yep.
and show me where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And towards the end, they always say, "Oh no, yeah, you're right. The earth is flat." And
Right.
they're incentivized to find it.
I encourage people to do that. That's why I offer 3 Bitcoins for one globe proof. Right? How come some PhD hasn't just like, oh, let me take your Bitcoins?
Yeah,
Crazy. It's crazy. The world.
they
I,
could retire.
I am so blessed because I love what I'm doing. Flat earthers love talking about flat earth, right? So when they go to their job to support themselves, which they need to do during their spare time, they do what I do, right? They do what I do all the time. So I'm blessed in that. And then let's think about this. What industry, name an industry, a business, a hobby, anything that would interest every single person on earth. And once they discover it, they'll never put it down. Can you name another industry like that? So think about that. Flat Earth. Like if you had a restaurant in Hawaii, um, you're probably only interested in the people local to your restaurant on that one island. The other islands are probably, maybe they can know about it, maybe they'll come visit. But somebody in Connecticut, probably not going to advertise to them, not interested in them. Every single human on earth that has a working brain cell is interested in this topic. And when they find it, they never get bored of it because it's where we are. It's the foundation of our world. And it's an amazing place. Now, people say, oh, you flat earthers, you're all in it for the money. Nobody's making money in flat earth. Okay.
No,
Nobody's making money.
no.
Right. But it is going to happen because it is going to be the largest market shift ever. And hey, when there's an interest in something, like there's going to be when flat Earth goes mainstream, when some Justin Bieber tweets, hey, the Earth might be flat. Check out flatearthdave.com. That's going to change the whole world, right? Right, because he's got
Yeah,
140 million followers, whatever, and
right.
then it's over at that point. Um, if he was allowed to touch his own Twitter, maybe that would happen. Um,
That's why they have handlers.
yeah, yeah, but there's going to be a void for like educational material, like for kids, right? So I mentioned that the other day. I want to show you something on the app. If you go to the book section and then you go to kids, right here, this is Zach Zambala from Globebusters. He created this series of books like Why Are the Stars? Why is the Moon? And they're
Wow.
all flat Earth related. They're all talking about it, and they're really good books. And he did it, he's literally publishing one book every 2 weeks. And he's got a series of like 12 books that are coming out. And this is amazing, right? And he's just doing it because he loves it. And the kids that are getting these books are learning real stuff. So there's so many things for people to do. It's going to be mind blowing, mind blowing.
I think that's the beauty of this is that the reason we can't put it down is that you get to relink up with your soul or
Yeah.
that connection that we have to source so that then you are actually like I believe that we're walking close to our potential, because they've spent trillions of dollars spraying the skies with chemicals and injecting us with chemicals and putting chemicals in our food and our water and the fear porn and the programming on the television and the headphones in the ears and everything else because we are so powerful when we are not poisoned
Yep.
or controlled in any way. And I think even one of us just in our full power could shut the whole thing down.
I agree. One person in their truth is untouchable.
Yes. And that's that's why we have to believe in the lies. And if we're parroting the lies, then we're also becoming part of that separation, like separating that whole person that we were designed to be, splintering us like MK Ultra programming.
hundred
So the
percent.
flat Earth brings us
Yeah.
back to home.
When you see it, you literally reconnect. I don't think this anymore. I know this is a fact. There's a lot of people that are depressed. Why are they depressed? Their soul, their true self, right, is trying to communicate with their conscious mind. And their conscious mind is lost in the television programming, is living in fear, living in lack, you know, creating this world because of their beliefs. Oh, I'm going to be broke. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Yes, you're going to be broke and you're going to live paycheck to paycheck because that's what you're manifesting, right? Your
That's
soul
right.
is trying to talk to you, but there's a disconnect there. And at some point, your soul gets depressed. And I think that's where depression comes from. And then depression leads to drug addiction and all sorts of other things. When you connect back to the flat earth, when you plant your feet on this living system that we're in and start seeing the possibilities and start understanding that what's not real, I've seen people lift out of depression, lift out of drug addiction, change their lives, get motivated, right? I tell people all the time, um, don't send your kids to college, right? It is a trap. And I send them to Crow University. Crow University is not a university. It's just the Crow 777 radio podcast, right? Do you listen to Crow?
No, I don't.
It,
I
it
haven't
is,
even.
it is, I say, have your kids listen to 4 old episodes a week and the one new episode every week. I think there's one
Okay.
new episode. And so that's 2 hours a day. They listen to an audio podcast. It's 2 hours. So 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. They can listen to it while they're bike riding, while they're gardening, while they're kite surfing. They can listen to it in a hammock. They can do whatever they want while they're climbing a tree, while they're working in a job where they are able to listen to things while they're doing whatever it is. And at the end of, I say the end of a year, but really at the end of a month, they're going to be more prepared for this world than any college will ever get them. And I've been saying it for a long time. And people, I started getting messages. People say, you know what? We did it. We were about to send our kids to school. We didn't. And now they're motivated. They're looking. They're finding their interest. They're starting their own business. They'll want, he's interning for a company that's doing what he wants to do, stuff that he um, never would have done at all, right? For
Well,
those of you that don't know, just on my website, if you scroll down, it's also in the app on the homeschool section. If you scroll down, do I have Crow on here? Um, well, if you go to the new Cokes, that's from Crow. But on the app in the homeschool section, there's a Crow link. So just
I'll put all the direct links to it also in the show notes.
everything I'm talking about can be found on my website. So
Yeah. And the Flat Earth app, which is really fun because then you can see people around you and you don't feel so isolated, which is another thing that they want. But I
right,
want to go back to just really quick talking about, oh, there it is.
yep,
The
good,
depression and the subconscious, the unconscious, and the conscious. And I think that's what, like you said, it's beautifully, that's what MK Ultra separates so
yeah,
that we're not linked up. We don't have that electromagnetic field. It's broken, and you can break it all sorts of ways by putting detergent on your skin and wiping away the fatty layer because that's how the electromagnetism conducts. But I want to talk about this experiment they did with a group of people with a stacked deck of cards. So they would deal cards that were from a stacked deck so the person would never win the hand. The person figured it out after about 15 to 20 deals. They're like, hey, this is a stacked deck. But their body started responding after one or two deals. Their heart knew that the deck was stacked. The soul knew. So when we're operating through life, there's a part of you that absolutely 100% knows the truth, no matter how programmed and indoctrinated you are. There's a part of you that's aware
Right.
of it, and it's communicating with you constantly. Hey, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And
Trust
like
your
you
gut.
said,
Your gut brain can see around corners.
it can see around the corners. Your heart can be in 3 to 10 seconds into the future. I mean, this is matrix studies. So can
Mine
you
can go
imagine?
11 seconds.
Yeah. And more and more and more. This is matrix
But
studies.
that's why when you're kite surfing, I tell people when they're learning how to kite surf, you have to know what's going to happen 2 or 3 seconds from now. Not
Yeah.
right now. It's 2 or 3 seconds from now, or you're
Yeah.
going to kill yourself.
Or, predict what the wind's going to do in 15 to 20 minutes if you're way out there. And
Yeah, yeah, that too. There you go.
yeah. And that's how you get that information. It's not you're thinking about it, like what's the wind going to do? You just head back to shore.
Yeah.
You're just going back, and then you're maybe kiting where you
So
started
many
from.
times I've been out there cranking away, and then I'll just, I'm going in, and as soon as I get in, the wind chooches. It's over. It's like, and I can barely land the kite because the wind just dies. It's happened numerous
Yeah.
times.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
intuition.
yeah,
That's where our power is. You just do it automatically, like the wild kingdom. Wild animals don't do disease. Wild animals don't do obesity. They're connected in. They have that futuristic sense. And then that's the college, when we're further indoctrinating these kids out of it, you're going to spend $250,000 to learn that everything you've sent them, stolen their childhood with the first 12 years of education, and now the college $250,000 is not true. And I even just looked up how they determine calories. Do you know how they determine calories that's in our food?
You know what? Let me tell you something about calories. I've never learned what a lot of calories are. I do know how they determine them. You can tell in a second, but I've never learned what a lot of calories are because they're such bullshit. It's just a whole programming thing. Like if you think that you're eating too many calories, you're gonna get fat because you're
Yeah,
thinking that, right?
it's the belief.
I don't know if 2,000 calories or 10,000 calories is a lot. I don't know, nor do I want to know.
Yeah.
It,
So they take
they take something, they burn it, they dehydrate it, and then they burn it, and they see how much energy comes out of it.
they see how much energy comes out of it, meaning it's surrounded by water. And so how much it heats the water.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
it's so
That,
stupid.
that, that's not what happens remotely in our body. And then we're going to talk about the synergy. So again, back to the nectarine, the synergy of the nectarine. None of us will ever figure this out. We can pick out a few chemicals, but you don't know the synergy of what I take a bite of it, the synergy of the nectarine with the enzymes in the mouth, the
Yeah,
enzyme that's on the outside of the nectarine. There's like
yeah,
4 or 5 that we've discovered, the millions of chemical reactions that went into this, the water that went through the tree, the sunlight, the moonlight, the birds chirping, the insects that crawled on it and laid whatever. That
yeah.
that is the whole crux of it. And we don't know how the body works. We don't know that this whole idea of calorie counting is to get you to believe that something's wrong with you, to usurp the idea of, I know how to fuel my body. No, I don't. I'm too stupid to know. I'm going to go to the experts and they're going to tell me what to eat and what to drink. And then again, that soul connection is further and further and further lost, or it gets depressed and is tired of trying to connect because you're ignoring it forever. And so now we're in this state of complete depletion because we're not fueling our bodies with what our soul is actually needing to fuel our bodies with. We're listening to the experts and the biohackers tell us what diet to be on and what
Yeah.
supplements to take. And
Never go on. Never go on a diet, a technical diet. I say
why?
the news gives you cancer.
Absolutely.
Like,
It's casting those spells.
it's casting spells. It's such nonsense. Occasionally, like I'll turn on the news once or twice a year. I can't get past 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. It's just like the
Wow.
dumbest crap ever. And
It's gotten
it's like,
worse
wow,
too.
it's the same or worse, right? It's worse. And
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I'm I'm just blown away at how big the deception is. And it's so, I'm blessed that I can see through it. Now, I don't see through all of it. I'm learning. I'm like every day, like nothing surprises me. My favorite line is can't rule it out. Or
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. Flat earthers know that they don't know a lot of things. Globers think they know everything and they know nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
And that's the dangerous place to be in when you think you know everything.
Yeah.
Or you think you know that you can actually know something. And that goes back to just the final point on, taking your kids out of school. Well, how will they know about the body? How will they know about science? And well, they're just learning lies for 12 years.
Right. It's all lies. I'm telling you, start listening to Crow. He does everything from, taxes to health to um all it's just every topic is on there. And I've learned a ton from it, but I've seen kids that are listening to Crow, young kids that are listening to it. They're so like it opens up their mind. Right? There's a lot of find another podcast if you don't like it. But Crow is a unique podcast. Him and Jason together really look at stuff kind of differently than other people. Make up your own mind. I mean, Crow's the one that came out with the lunar wave, and then like 2 weeks later, the flat Earth movement started. He's
Oh,
the one
wow.
that filmed the lunar wave, and then all of a sudden, flat Earth came out of nowhere. Now he's not claiming he started the flat Earth thing, but the synchronicity was insane, insane. And
I think that's how it happens though too.
yeah,
Like you can measure our energy outside of our bodies. And when you don't put detergents in your hair, it serves as an antenna for whatever
yeah,
inputting information. Like I definitely think we're not just communicating with one another to share information. Something's happening in the ethers when we're bio connected, biochemically, bioelectrically connected. That's why they want us to get in the shower and wash off these oils off our skin twice a day and wash your hands 15 times a day, because you're removing that electroconductivity. And when you think a thought like I'm thinking to move my finger, it happens at the speed of light. How is that possible with the matrix way they tell us our body works? It's not possible.
yeah. It's
But
it's.
yet when we leave our hair, you don't
I
take
was
the
doing a
detergents.
I was doing a podcast with somebody in Australia or or Russia, I forget. And I just while we're talking in real time in high def video, I'm just like, they're lying about everything. Like, how is this happening? Like, you're in where are you in Oregon? I forget.
I'm in California.
You're in California. Like, I'm on the East Coast. We're talking in real time. You're in high def. Okay, how does this work?
Yeah.
How does this work?
Exactly.
I mean, like, what
Mm.
the heck? What's going on? I remember when I used to wait, 20 minutes for one picture of a topless girl to download. Okay.
With the
Okay.
dial up.
Yeah, the dial-up. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Now, you know, now I've changed a little bit since
Good. Yeah.
then.
And it's instantaneous. Well, and yet that's another big psyop for getting men to be weak and
Oh,
dependent, is this whole porn
absolutely.
industry. And why is it free? Everybody always
Yeah.
ask yourself those questions. But it also gets into what I think you said and what I have seen is belief. So the belief that the food industry, I think, is the worst one of all of them, but they have the belief in the food. They've cast the spells. They put the list of chemicals on the outside, so you're seeing all these things. But the power of the mind, which is why we go back to the beginning of the podcast, why they have to separate us and disconnect us from the power center, is because the belief. And they've done studies with multiple personality disorder. So one woman had multiple personality disorder. One personality had diabetes. So her blood sugars would skyrocket to the point where she had to take insulin, or she would have a medical episode, wind up in the ER. And another personality didn't have diabetes. So in her diabetic personality, she needed insulin. If you would have given her insulin in the other personality, she would have died.
So that's a perfect example of your thoughts create your reality. right?
Yes, that's
Your
why they
thoughts
talk
create
about
reality.
cancer all the time. That's
Yeah,
why these movie stars, Celine Dion, People magazine, some tenant I had gets that magazine, and it said she just was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, and she's living one day at a time. Like you romantic, the people that love Celine Dion are now going to be romanticizing these diseases that these movie stars have, and you see it, you're like, oh, maybe I have stiff person syndrome. Another just made up set of symptoms for, all the poisons they inject us with.
absolutely. It's even more than I realize. Like your thoughts, you really need to be careful with your thoughts and your words and the sounds because the biggest conspiracy of all is that the universe, this system, is conspiring to deliver everything you think to you. Everything. Right?
Right.
So go watch a horror movie, see what that does for you, you
Yeah.
know, and it's amazing how truly powerful we are.
That's the music industry. That's
Oh
why
my
I think
God.
the music industry is so vile, because not only are you listening to it, but we're so good at singing and remembering songs. That's, how we passed on supposedly. I we never really know about our history, but passed on our history through songs because we can remember them. So you're listening to these horrible lyrics inside your head, and then you're singing them, you're voicing those same words as though they're your own.
Amazing. Crazy spells.
Crazy spells. And like you said, I don't know if you know Laurel Erica, but there's a lot of people that do break down the English language into word
Oh,
magic.
I know who she is. I know who she is. I
Yeah.
just know the name. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I just watched a TikTok of her the other day, and
Funny.
I've seen it before, but she just breaks down all the words. You work the week, the
Yes.
weekend, and yeah,
You become weakened in a weakened state to
yeah,
earn a living.
yeah.
Earns are ashes for the
And the
dead. And
morning and just
yeah,
everything.
mourning is for the dead. Yeah. So, but that's how they get us if we aren't connected to the soul, and you can voice those words and continue to cast spells on yourself. But when you're lit up, you're inside, you are connected to source, you have the direct link, you don't need an interpreter for anything, then I don't think that the magic works on you.
I don't think it does either. And I think that prayer can actually help neutralize a lot of this stuff. Like I believe in praying over your food, just a quick little
Absolutely.
prayer. I have a question for you. So they're trying to poison us with everything in the supermarket, that has, the list of ingredients. What stops them from not listing the ingredients? Right?
Okay, so UC Davis
Yeah.
Matrix study did a study and said that 7 out of 10 items in the grocery store are counterfeit to what it says on the label. And what's to say they're not putting drugs in there that we don't have tests for? Are they
So we
going to
don't.
tell us all the drugs they're drugging
So
us
there,
with? Of
so
course
so
not.
so you can't trust it. So I tell people, and I try to do it myself, is when you're shopping, if you're going to go to a grocery store, which we need to, sometimes if you can't grow your own food, buy things that have one ingredient: avocado,
Yeah.
orange.
And and they should not create that need to eat 12 oranges. So you shouldn't have, so, and that's what the food industry does, is they hook people up to MRIs, and if it hits the addictive center of the brain for the more, because that's why they put natural flavors in, it gives you a burst of flavor in your mouth and then cuts off. So you want another bite of that, another bite of it.
Huh.
They don't put anything on a shelf that doesn't create that addictive cycle, including kale chips and all these things that have ingredients. They are creating that addictive cycle. And that, how do we know? Because you want to eat more than your body's nutritional needs, or you're looking through the store with your eyes, not with your body. Your body knows what it needs to fuel itself. You might go over and buy a lemon and some radishes. That's not what's on your list, but that's what, oh, that looks bright and delicious, I have to have that.
Yeah.
And that's living. So what we're after, I believe, not these calories that are a complete load of horse crap, but we're after the energy. So this light eating light, the plants have this synergy that we will never understand, creating the synergy within our body, but everyone's different. Everyone's nutritional needs are different.
I agree. That's how I kind of shop. I don't go with a list. I look around and see what I'm attracted to. And
There
sometimes
we
it's
go.
Oreos.
Oh,
I don't buy Oreos anymore, but I look at them and I long for the time when I used to eat
when you
Oreos.
could eat an Oreo.
No, not a Oreo, a sleeve of Oreos with a big glass of raw milk, because the raw milk neutralizes the bad stuff in the Oreo.
There you go. Yeah. And if you
Okay.
pray over the
Yeah, if
Oreos,
you
then
pray over
everyone,
the
oh,
Oreo and all those satanic symbols on it, it's all fine. It's all
that should be fine. Or you could probably get away with it
I
a
don't.
couple, three times.
That's my I haven't bought Oreos in a very long time, so I'm very happy about that.
Well, yeah, I personally don't find anything edible in the grocery stores, even the organic produce section, because
Other
I've
other
been
than or even in.
even in. I've been growing my own food in my backyard, and I get only local organic
Yeah,
produce from farmers that I know.
that's what we
So
do.
now I'm acclimated to that. And
Yep.
I went and bought some Lacanito kale at the big box grocery store, Rayleigh's, and it was I couldn't eat it.
Nice.
And
We
that's
have
why
we
we
have
have wisdom teeth. Did you know that? That's another one
that's
I
why
just
they pull your wisdom teeth.
because your wisdom teeth are connected to the pineal gland, the energy center, the pineal gland and the heart.
Oh
And
my.
so you can tell the food that you're eating is synthetic or it's been, spells have been cast over it or the meat's been mistreated and you won't be able to eat it.
Wow. So all the people that had their wisdom teeth pulled,
Yeah.
you're
Plus
at a
it's a billion
disadvantage.
dollar industry.
Sure.
Saying, yeah, you have to get God doesn't make mistakes. That
No.
God doesn't say, oh, here's some teeth that you're going to have to get pulled out by the dentist and have, $1,200 bill.
Amazing. Amazing. Hey, I have that question on the app, um, on the home on the change this here on your you have a group called Medicine Girl, right?
Yeah.
Where is it? How's that going? It's turning into a pretty big group, right?
It's a pretty big group, and they wanted
Medicine,
to
True Medicine is called.
true
That's you.
medicine. Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
there it is. I
Yeah.
encourage anybody to enter it. You're still very active on there, right?
We're still really active, and this is what we talk about. We talk about, when I uncover things like the K calories and when I uncover things like wisdom teeth and the sensitive biome in the mouth, they tell you to use alcohol-based mouthwashes so that you kill the bacteria. One of the bacteria creates nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, so using mouthwash can give and cause high blood pressure and heart attacks.
I think I saw that on your channel. I think I saw that, and that was something recently that it caused heart
Yeah,
attacks by mouthwash.
like alcohol-based
I
mouthwash.
I never use mouthwash. I've never I like I might have tried it once or twice. I never liked it. It
Yeah,
just like but something told me this is not right. This is not right.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the wisdom they want to separate us from.
That I have to say, I've always been pretty intuitive, but since I discovered flat Earth, I my intuition has gone way up, way up.
That is what I believe for all of us because you're back in the truth. Now you're back in your own personal freedom. You're not lying to yourself anymore.
Yeah. And they're not afraid, fear of false evidence appearing real. That is the truest statement ever, right? There is
Yeah,
nothing to fear. That's the only true statement a president has ever made. Nothing to fear except fear itself.
right. How did they let that one slip through?
Yeah, that was before they had total control, I guess.
Before they had total control. And it's so true because if you look at even like you said, the truthers and the freedom community, they're still pumping the fear porn. And that is where you get in and you cross contaminate the belief. Like I had Daniel Roidas on and we were talking about the great vitamin fraud. And we're told, now by the truthers, like heavy metals are going to kill you and parasites are riddled in your body and you have to use these toxic supplements to get them out. What if we're told that and we truly believe that our bodies, yeah, will be exposed to chemicals. It's unavoidable in this modern world, but we are so powerful and our bodies are so good at just flushing them out and releasing them that there's really nothing to worry about. You don't have to be in a state of fear.
I agree. Amazing. Amazing. Did you did you see the debate between Andrew Kaufman and Steve Kirsch, the virologist?
No, I definitely heard all about it and saw like the clips,
It,
but I
it,
didn't see the whole thing.
what did you think of it? What did you think of the clips?
I mean, Andy, no one's going to out debate Andy Kaufman.
Right.
Like
Um,
he's untouchable.
yeah, Andy's the best, but I want to show you a little meme I made. Somebody we're in I'm in a little chat group with Andy and Curtis Stone and a bunch of other people, and they said someone's got to make a meme out of this. Let me show you my meme. Let me see, where is it? Can you see? Is that it? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully. Hold on. I think I have to share with sound. Stop share. I say share with sound. Tell me what you think of this. All right. So there it is. All right. Let's see.
Gotcha. How do you diagnose COVID, though?
Well, let's see. Da, da, da.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
That's awesome.
What do you think?
That's awesome. That sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, that was such a good debate. I've tried to find you the link so maybe you can link it. Everyone's going to be asking where to find that.
Yes, yeah, we'll have all those links. And then also, when the first time we talked, I said, how many flat earthers got the jibby jab? And you said probably maybe 1%. So knowing the flat earth will save you from getting tricked into
Right.
poisoning yourself.
All the foundations of all the lies are because you don't have a foundation, right? You know, the Globers do get one thing right. They go, "Oh, you're a flat earther. You're probably an anti-veer," and I'm like, "Damn right, damn right.
Yes.
Yep, we are.
Yep.
All
Mhm.
of us, you know."
Yeah. And we don't have myocarditis and
Yeah, that
blood
what's that?
clots.
What was that? There's a meme. It says, one good thing about being a flat earther is we don't get myocarditis."
There you go. Yeah, we're not coming down with myocarditis and blood clots
Yeah.
I think they want to track everyone. I think it's, getting enough metal in you so that they can track you.
Track you and maybe one day microwave you. And then you know what happens when you put tinfoil in a microwave,
Yeah.
so it's
Control Alt Delete feature with
yeah.
remote. So they don't have to get their hands dirty.
The one thing people get depressed when they hear all this, and they're not unplugged yet. They're like, "There's nothing we can do. This is such a hopeless cause." There's nothing. That's not true, right? We have the upper hand, and and I think that they know this. Now, tell me if you disagree. Some people disagree with me. Um, they know the natural law, God's law. They know that they really can't break free will. They have to trick us. And I heard somebody say, it was on Veritas Radio. This woman, she was fantastic. And she said, the devil is a lawyer. He knows all of the tricks to get you to incriminate yourself, to trick you. And it really hits home with me. I find that a lot of truth in that. That if you don't break anyone else's free will, obey God's law, good to the person to your left and the person to your right, this whole world changes. Everything changes. Your world changes. I think the world's gonna split. You're gonna have the normies, and they're gonna live in their 15-minute cities, and they're gonna be jibby jabbed, and then you're gonna have the other people that are living in the free world.
Yeah. Well, because they have to trick you
Yeah.
into poisoning yourself. And that's why flat earth is so dangerous, is that you cannot be swayed anymore. You cannot be tricked, swayed, cajoled, coerced. That's what the definition of freedom is.
Yeah.
No one grants me freedom. I don't ask anyone for freedom, then I will never be free. I will be constantly asking for my freedoms. And oh, look, they're taking away my freedoms. You can't. And we don't attack or cut the head of the snake off this cabal or whatever they want to call it, the ruling class. You simply ignore them. They need our attention. What happens when you ignore a movie star? They melt down. They go
With a
berserk.
politician.
Or a politician. Imagine what if we just ignored them.
I always say we don't need to take them down. We need to ignore them. They have no power other than in our imagination.
That's right.
Right? Everything,
The
it's in
belief.
our imagination, our belief with a big lie in the middle.
That's it. That's what it comes down to. And that's what the devil, this attorney, is chaos and confusion. It's the snake oil salesman. It's like, you got to take this synthetic and you got to do this and you listen to that. And that's the chaos and confusion. When you get back to, the truth, it's extremely simple. It's soothing to the mind. It's peaceful. How do you know truth? It tastes of freedom.
I agree.
Well,
The girl's name that I was talking of is Ira Woolenoth, a son. Wulnothsson. And it's called The Devil's Mistake.
ooh,
And it's on there's an episode on veritasradio.com. It's not Project Veritas, it's
Good.
Veritas Radio. With Mel, a great host. I've been on there probably 5 times now. And go listen to hour 1. It's free. Hour 1 is free. It's go listen to it. You probably want to listen to hour 2. It's really, really good. It's a really, like, I was like, oh, what's this one? She's what does she call herself? She was a Satanist or something, and she got out of it. She got out of this whole control, and she's spilling the beans on what she knows, and it resonated with me. It was really good. I actually, there's so much content that I want to watch. I don't have time to watch. Like, I wish I just delete them. I don't have time. I listened to this one 3 times. 3 times.
I'm gonna have to check that out then.
It's really good. Ira Wooling, whatever, I can't pronounce it. And veritasradio.com.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a 2-hour drive today. I'm going to Sonoma to see some people. So about an hour there, hour back. That should do it. I'll put that in, see the more and more and more that, it just, these things open, the more another piece of this puzzle opens, and you're just functioning on these higher levels of reasoning. That's why I want to really just use that intuition with, what is this whole food thing? Why have they lied to us? And why is there such an industry around it? They put a lot of energy into the food matrix. And it actually is something called the food matrix, which is the synergy of food, but completely different than the matrix we're talking about.
Yeah. This world is a massive lie. It's been hidden from us. And when you open it up and place your feet on the foundation of this living world that we're in, the possibilities and the opportunities are endless.
That's it. And you put your bare feet on raw nature, not landscaped, fertilized pesticides or insecticides, but you're actually putting your feet on raw nature, or, right in the ocean. Kite surfing is great because you're just in the water and the sunlight. That's how we get the energy. We're recharging, we're grounding, we're recharging, doing those things that feel good. Then you stay in alignment with your soul, and then you stay and can walk in your potential.
Exactly.
Any parting words for the audience? Anything that...
Parting words is think, use your mind. Don't believe nonsense. Unplug. Stop watching the news. Don't send your kids to school. Verify everything, right? The problem is we live in a world where you can't verify everything, like, because you never have time to do anything, right? You have to trust. We have to believe. And, we have to, like, you believe I live in Connecticut. Have you ever verified it?
Right.
Have you ever verified it? I mean, I told you I was in Mexico. You ever verify it? Right?
Haven't been able to verify that,
Yeah,
but
but
I believe it
you
because
believe
I
it
I
because
have that
we have a connection. We can
intuition.
see
Yeah.
each other, and so
I hear the tone of your voice,
trust
the
trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Anyone that's new to this on the flat earth side, just go to my website. There's tons and tons of great stuff there. Let me just show you. Oh, by the way, when is this coming out? When are you gonna air this?
Thursday.
Thursday. So when this airs, that this that's this Thursday.
Yeah.
Next, is it next week? What day is today? Today's Tuesday.
Today's June 18th, Tuesday.
So the following week, I'm going to be in the UK at the Sounds. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, where's my banner? It's gone. Wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe it's at the top. Sounds beautiful. Oh, there it is, right there. Sounds beautiful. 4-day health, music, truth, flat earth. Whoops. I got these reactions.
Surprise.
Look at that. No, I put my thumb up. It does.
The
Crazy.
Sadaloons.
Yeah, it does crazy stuff. That's in Winborn, UK, the 27th through the 30th. Anybody that's in the UK wants to come to an amazing festival, it's super cheap. It's $40 a day for 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's camping, glamping. There's you can get there's probably other places to stay. And another thing which a lot of people have been asking me about is these. I've got these on my website now. They're cut from metal. They're awesome, and they're very cool. It's our true compass where south is every direction.
I like that.
Yeah, and they're super fun, and they're very well priced, from 12 inches to 36 inches. They're very cool. So lots of cool stuff on my site. Elon Musk is a fraud. Don't forget the new Cokes.
Thank you.
And that's it. That's all I got to say about that.
Elon Musk is a fraud. No, he put a Tesla into outer space and was driving it around with air in the tires. That's for sure. Yeah, that happened.
He certainly did.
Thank you so much, Dave Weiss, for sharing your time with me and for going deep, figuring out why they want to separate.
It's pretty obvious once you see it.
It's so obvious. And once you're out of the box again, you're in this tight little container matrix box, you get out, there's no way you can fit back in. You're too big instantaneously.
I muted myself. Hey, so anyone seeing this, you're going to hear about the Tuesday night thing. It'll happen again in a couple Tuesdays after that. So just email me if you're interested in learning. But you have to be in the United States, so it's the USA only. And it's very interesting. It's California based also, which is amazing. Oh. California's got one thing going for them, and that's this solution.
Well, two, because I'm here in California.
That's true. You're right.
I stayed for whatever reason, because I truly believe we can change it, because we're not crazy. And you see, I don't get sick. I haven't been sick in 20 years, the way they call an illness or a disease. A lot of us haven't.
Nice.
And so I think that's how we wake people up. We're not crazy. We're not strange. Let's have a conversation.
Do you have your wisdom teeth?
I do. I actually still have my wisdom teeth. I don't know how I got around that one. My mouth.
You have 2 or 4 wisdom teeth, tops and bottoms?
Usually people have 4.
All right. So I had my 2 lowers removed, I think.
Yeah, I remember my sister. Yeah, my sister had hers removed, and she had these big sockets in there, and it was a horrible surgery. And I fortunately never had to do that. I mean, I've had root canals, and I've been.
You have root canals?
Oh yeah, I've been killed by the dentist industry.
You know about the root canal.
I know, yeah. But you know what people do? I was asking this guy, like, oh, what do you do for the root canals? And he smiles, and he's missing all these teeth. Like, that's not a solution, not pulling out your teeth. But I believe
Go ahead.
that your body is extraordinary at encapsulating poisons. And if you're not calling 911 5 times a day with the foods that you're eating and the drinks that you're drinking, it can protect you. I believe that.
All right.
So, and I'm not pulling out my teeth. I think that's worse.
I get it. I get it.
But if you have the option, don't get a root canal.
Right.
They lie to you and say it's absolutely necessary. You're going to have to either pull the tooth or get a root canal. That's a lie. Use remineralizing toothpaste. I use tallow teeth with diatomaceous earth.
What do you
And
think about
that's it.
I use what's it called? It's the clay, bentonite clay powder toothpaste.
The
And
only thing with the bentonite clay that I've read, Dr. Alan Christensen's website came out with an article on most bentonite clay has toxic levels of lead.
it depends on where it's sourced from.
Depends on where it's sourced from.
Right. Amanda Vollmer has she sells some. I wonder, I gotta check where she sources it from. But I have to tell you, when I used to go to the dentist to have a little teeth cleaning, I'm very sensitive. I hate it. I hate it.
Right.
So I started using the bentonite clay right after I went to the dentist, and 6 months later I went again, zero sensitivity. Then 6 months later I went again, and they're like, your teeth are doing amazing. Your gums are good and everything just from using that. So I don't know. If it has lead in it, I'm dealing with it.
It's you're dealing with it, you're not absorbing it. And I think just simply not putting detergents in our mouth,
Yeah.
you start to remineralize because you're not
Toothpaste
wearing
is
away that
disgusting.
bio.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I can't even use toothpaste anymore. It's so gross.
I can't imagine that I ever did. I mean, I was using Crest toothpaste when I was
Oh
young.
boy. Well,
I just
it fights cavities. It keeps away the
yeah.
cavity creeps.
And you know what I would do in high school? I would take a little piece of toothpaste and just swallow it for a breath freshener.
You see what they do on the ISS, teaching kids how how do you brush your teeth in space? And they say, well, because we don't have running water, you have to just swallow it. There's like 15 videos of them. Like you brush your teeth and then you swallow it. Right? They're teaching kids to swallow toothpaste.
Wow. And the fluoride in the toothpaste is not just reducing their IQ, the neurotoxicity of it is horrifying.
Yeah.
It wears away the myelination. That's what they want to do too, Dave, is they want to demyelinate us so that not only are we getting things like Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis, but we are also getting dementia, which is their favorite because you're still alive. They don't want to kill their customers. You're still alive, but you're having to, be in a facility 24/7.
On the app, if you go to the video search section and just type in swallow, this video comes up and it's a compilation of all of them telling you to swallow your toothpaste, telling kids to swallow toothpaste.
I gotta repost that one. That is horrifying.
Yeah.
Just when I think they had no bottom.
Yeah, there's no bottom with these devils. They're devils.
They're devils. Absolutely. Yeah. And you don't want any of these devils inside your body with the drugs that they want you to take, the alcohol, the nicotine, the caffeine.
And I just tell people, you're not going to get it perfect. Do the best that you can from where you're at, think the proper thoughts and you'll be fine.
You'll be fine and stay out of fear because you are far more powerful than you could ever possibly imagine.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Robin.
Thank you so much, Dave Wise. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
Bye.